Hi, my name is Tony Pantelleresco, and we're doing this live from Herbs Plus and Beadworks, and today we're going to do segments on vinegar and how to make healing vinegars. I'm going to give a little synopsis about a healing vinegar. Everyone's heard about the Four Thieves vinegar. If you haven't, I'm going to give a little brief rundown on it. This was discovered in France during the time of the plague. People were dying from the plague, but these four thieves would go in and rob people's homes that had died. And what they did is they formulated a little formula with vinegar, using about 8 to 10 different herbs, and fused the herbs with the vinegar. As a result, they would heat the vinegar up on the fireplace, take a tablespoon or two, and proceed to rob whoever had just died and never got infected. So you can make this today, and this is basically the result of 6 months of fusing of different herbs. As you can see, here's a little thyme sticking out, there is bay leaf in there, there's clove, there's cinnamon, there's Greek oregano or Mediterranean oregano, rosemary, and goji berries in here. You would only use teaspoons amounts of this. If you did it every day, you could literally rebuild your immune system from scratch, and it would take something close to a nuclear bomb to put you down. It is that effective. So this is something that you would put together, and how you would do this, a quick real rundown on this, is you would get a vinegar, put these herbs in the vinegar, whether you're using a wine vinegar, apple cider vinegar, or any vinegar you want, peach vinegar, any vinegar you want to make. Let them sit and soak. Okay, minimum soaking time should be between 6 to 8 weeks. And you can blend it and strain it, or you can let it do what I'm doing. Let it sit and just keep on fusing. So today I'm going to show you how to make another healing vinegar where you can use spices. So for all of you who have cholesterol issues, circulation issues, insulin issues, heart issues, brain issues, different issues are going on, these are things you can use. Here's turmeric, good for Alzheimer's, good for plaque in the body, good for fighting cancer, good for removing excess estrogens that you might be exposed to, industrial or otherwise. Here is pepper, red pepper, as you can see. Okay, this is this. You put it through an extractor, and this is what you get out of it. Alright? That works on heart functions, circulatory functions, immune functions. It can disinfect the stomach. Here is some Mediterranean oregano. Okay? In itself, it has antioxidant, antibacterial, antifungal properties, circulation properties, immune support properties. And here, today, what I did is I extracted some rosemary from regular rosemary. This is what's left over. Okay? So we're going to put this all together in a short after we learn how to make just vinegar, just to give you an idea. So I'm going to use stuff that's already made, but I'm going to show you how to get started making your own vinegar. Alright, we're going to do the vinegar. I'm going to use apples, but you can use any fruit you like. You can use grapes on this, you can use peaches, you can use plums, you can use any pears, any fruit you like. You can even use coconut juice. When you buy a coconut, save the juice, make a vinegar out of it. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to put the apples in the juicer, okay, and we're going to get the juice from the apples. So this is going to be all made fresh, and we want the enzyme activity to be alive and going. And then once we get so much in here, we may add water to it, and then we're going to add other vinegar. We're going to do it by using vinegar that's already been made. So, if let's say you don't have any vinegar, you can even use yeast. You can use acidophilus. You can use anything that's already been fermented and add it to it. Once it starts culturing, then you can strain it or filter it out. But today we're going to use a vinegar to start off making this. So I'm going to juice a couple apples just to give you an idea of what's going on. As soon as I figure out where I put my thing. You're dealing with a novice here, okay? So this is like anybody else's kitchen. Now I did get a question. Somebody saw frosted flakes in the last video. The reason why we have it here is because sometimes people eat sugar frosted flakes. So we have a thing here on some things that some people eat, and we show them the toxicity of some of the foods. No, nobody here eats this stuff. It's here because like this is like anybody else's kitchen. So when I do a consultation, sometimes I go into people's houses, and this is some of the things I see. So I explain to them that, okay, when you see frosted flakes, it's nothing but pure sugar and probably genetically modified corn that they're using to make the cereal. So for all of you who do see these things, none of us do eat them. I mean, I do eat the shredded wheats because it's nothing but wheat in there, and that's it. So I add my yogurt to this, I add some other fruit to this, and maybe cinnamon. But when you see these things, it's because a lot of times people eat this stuff. Oatmeal is oatmeal. Use it. Anyway, back to the vinegar. Alright, so we're going to make some vinegar. This is how I do it. Okay, this is just fresh apples. Any apple you like. Doesn't matter what it is. You know, just use it. Okay, I've got about 6 or 8 apples I'm going to use here. Now I'm going to give you another little tidbit while I'm doing this. Let's say you're making an apple juice, and that's all you want, and you want to preserve the apple juice. Once you get done, either add the cinnamon extract or cinnamon powder to this, and it will preserve this juice for up to almost 4 weeks. It's that effective. Now, there we go. Pure apple juice. Alright? So, I'm going to add a little water to this. Now I'm using the distilled water. Steam distilled. Now, there's only 2 waters I do use when I make my stuff. I either use a reverse osmosis water or distilled, because those are the 2 cleanest sources of waters. Now, I don't use tap water. I don't encourage anybody to use tap water. So what I'm going to do is just top it off a bit. No. Forget again. Anyway, just give it a bit of a shake. Now what you can do is vinegar. Okay, this is eaten organic. You can use this, you can use Bragg's. The big thing you want to find in any vinegar, it has to say it's unpasteurized, and it has to show that it has the active ingredient in it called mother. Okay? This one says naturally fermented. Yeah, it contains the mother. Alright, this is really key. So if you're buying vinegar and you don't want to make it and you want apple cider vinegar, it has to say the mother. Now, you can use store-bought vinegar to get this started. That'll work too. It's already fermented, it's pasteurized, but it's fermented. But this would be better because of the active ingredient called mother. Now again, I would encourage you to either use a yeast or a acidophilus. Even if you open up a couple of acidophilus pills in this and threw them in there, it would start the fermentation process. It's an active culture. It will start the whole thing going. So basically what I do, I'm not going to measure this, but I would probably pour quarter cup. That's it. Now what you do with this, here's an old chopstick, anything wood, bamboo, mix it in really well. Now what you're going to do is you're going to let this sit for 6 to 8 weeks. Okay? In 6 to 8 weeks, you have made your own vinegar. It's about how long it takes. It's going to go through a process of breaking down the sugars. It will create an alcohol. So, I mean, you can stop it there and have some apple wine if you like. And let it keep going, and it'll start getting sour, and before you know it, you'll have something active. And again, if you want to add more water to it, by all means, because this is pretty concentrated. Don't cook it. You don't need to. Just let it sit and do its thing. Now,